10 years now. This is actually my 10-year anniversary this year. And I'm going to talk to y'all about fight.
My name is Halavere. I've been playing for about 9 years.
If y'all want, I'd love to hear an introduction. Name? Tiger?
Riza? Yeah.
I don't have an Amtgard name yet, but my real human name is Stella.
Same. But no.
I'm good.
I'm Jamie Wildwood. I've been playing for a year.
I'm Liv.
I'm still new.
Okay, cool. So we've got some new people here today. Love to see it. This will be a great class, so when you guys go out there and fight, you're not going to have a confused look on your face when someone hits you a bunch and you're like, what happened? You'll have a better understanding about what's going on.
One of the most confusing things early on in fighting is understanding where you got hit and recognizing where the different locations are. So this should help you guys out with that pretty well.
All right, so, okay, be a little bit louder, got it. Yeah, all right. So what I'm gonna start with is showing you guys and telling you what exactly a shot in Amtgard is. A shot referring to a strike, stab, or an attack that is something that we can hit you with. The rules for your basic chop, which is a linear strike going like this. This is a chop either way. It could even be a diagonal in a sense. There's two things that you want. You want to hear that, the pop. You need sufficient noise, an audible noise. That counts for the strike. And then a stop or a stop and deflect. So it has to hit them and make a noise for your shot to be a legal Amtgard shot. So, yes.
Yes. So you can't. So things like push cuts and draw cuts typically aren't good. We call those buttery shots, like you're buttering toast. So if we're fighting and the shot comes and like barely grazing, if I'm doing this,
that's not a
good shot.
That, or if, like, say you even got this, you actually hit the arm, you can't go like this. That's not going to count for anything. This isn't going to do anything because you're not actually hitting them with sufficient force or making an audible noise when you're doing it. Is there any questions on that? No? Okay.
Yeah. How loud of a pop does it have to be? How loud?
So go ahead and just chicken wing it for me a little bit out. So if I'm throwing a shot, like, you hear that little, there's like a little, like, thud, that, not quite. You want something like that.
What if you hit them but not very hard?
Then that would be light or butter or like. If you want to use.
So in instance,
was like if I go like that, but it's not like.
we can still hear that.
So I heard
even
that.
over here with the wind, I can hear
Okay,
that.
so
Yeah.
I can hear you.
It doesn't have to be like thundering. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
and
thought
you don't got to be able to hear it from the parking lot.
Okay, I thought you meant it had to be like.
No.
Okay.
Audible pop. As long as your opponent hears it, they'll usually call it because this is an on your honor game.
Okay, I understand. I felt like.
Yeah. It might have been hard for you to hear over here, but what I was doing, I could just barely hear like a flick, and it was.
So it's like if you're missing.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
You know how like the sound of the whip when you catch like cloth?
Yeah.
Just not that.
Okay.
And then
You don't gotta club people.
your other shot is a stab, and there's only one thing you need for a stab, and that's a stop. Full stop. I hit the body,
Stop
my
or
sword's not what?
Stop or deflect.
Stop or deflect. So this is a stab, or if I come and I hit him here and then it slides up and away, that counts too. As long as it hits and then deflects, still a legal stab. If it full on
If
just
you do this and turn and it pushes past, that's still legal stab.
You can still try to, if they try to dodge it, but you feel the stop, they feel the stop, that is a legal stab.
If you were making an audible pop with a stab, we will likely ask you to chill out a little bit.
Any questions about that? No? Okay, cool. So next part is I'm going to go and do hit location. Number one I want to start out with is head is not a legal hit location. You're not allowed to just start smacking each other in the head. So please, let's not do that. There are accidents. It is a game. Your shoulders are a legal spot to hit. So some people will come down.
It's shoulder till it isn't.
You know? Yeah, it's shoulder till it isn't. If I take a step this way, I might just run into the sword by accident. That's just how it is. next up I wanted to start with the arm. I have my body kind of modeled where the tape stops here. That is safe. So if I'm fighting, if Hal just hits me right there, that does not count as my hand getting hit. Your weapon is imagined to have a guard around it protecting your hand. But if he goes past and hits the wrist, where any of this white part on there, that's legal. So that would be arm. And then up to the ball of your shoulder right here, if you put your hand on your shoulder and then slide down, you're gonna feel a little bump. That bump is the cutoff point. So right here is the cutoff point for me. I have it marked off that is where my arm ends. It's kind of where your armpit is right here, going up. So that is your full arm. There is a little bit of this area that it can be confusing when, like, if I throw a shot, kind of looks like I almost hit his shoulder, but that was just my sword going here and then coming up. But that's still just arm.
And because everybody's body is different, take some time, either now or at some point in the future, to kind of just like roll your arm and find where the muscle starts to move. For me, it's right here. This is where my shoulder joint is, which coincides with this line on my tunic. Some people have more broad shoulders, some have more narrow, some have more pointed, some have more shallow. So it is something that is a little bit different for each person, but the rule stays the same.
So next we're going to talk about, or what we're going to talk about real quick is some funny things that might happen when you're fighting and it involves your arms. So say I'm fighting Hal and I throw a shot and I take his arm right here, and just keep your sword in your hand. So I throw this shot, Hal's backing out, he wants to get away. I throw another shot and it hits his arm again. That would be dead because we go on a 2-point system. Your arm is 1 point. If I hit your arm again, that's a 2nd point.
So if you haven't gotten it out of the way fast enough, they can just double tap your arm.
Yeah, that is a total viable. It's really, honestly, if you're wanting to fight better, it's a great way to just be like, you just won right there.
Yeah.
That's a winning combo. But another thing is, so even if I hit him right here on the guard of his sword, so if I go bam, and then I swap and hit it, or throw here, sorry, just keep it in that hand. So if I throw, and then I hit right there, that's fine. If I throw and I hit right here, that's still, especially because this area, I'm just gonna go through the body. It's like your arm's gone. If his arm wasn't there, I would have just hit his back, basically. And then one last one that is confusing is, so I hit his arm, and say I draw my sword back, like this, that doesn't count, because this would have never intersected with his body. So I go here, then I bring my sword back, because I'm not going to intersect, there's no way I would have hit him with that shot, that doesn't count. So it's only if the shot is going to go into the body somehow. So 1, 2, like that, that's usually it. Do we have any questions on that?
And then they hit you again like that, it wouldn't have gone to torso?
Your arm is still a legal, valid shot area.
Yeah, even if you put it behind your back and it gets hit again, it's still a win.
You said that like if there was no way it would intersect with torso, it wouldn't count. Is that just for backing
That's
away?
That's for weapons and shield. So like say you lost your shield arm, if I throw another shot that would have came right into it, like this, and you don't have that arm, it would have hit your body, so then you would be dead.
But if you're pulling back from that shot and you like drag along their shield, I mean, it's the same as like, exactly. It's nothing would have happened. That's where it does kind of get into the weeds, and that's why I was mentioning that is kind of one of those tricky things. It's just the way that our rules operate, and they can be confusing to navigate sometimes, which is why it's important that we bring them up now. Before you get too into it and you get really heated, like that would have hit me, that wouldn't have hit me,
I'm gonna quickly do a lap through and show everybody like the arm area to give you an idea of it. I just want everyone to have like a close-up look. So like my wrist ends here. If I was holding a sword, anything here would be fine. I wouldn't count as a hit. Anything past this white tape or on the white tape would be like taken away. That would lose the arm. And then up to this tape here is this is just the whole arm right here. So I'm gonna just basically give you guys the idea of it. You can see like the tape goes where my armpit is here. If you get hit right here, that's torso, that's body, that's instant death.
What if they hit you right after you hit them?
There's the half
That's a good
second.
question.
And there's certain ways that it would matter. So say you're throwing your shot,
Okay.
anything,
Yeah.
bam, or anything that would kill me.
Okay.
So bam, and then if I come in after,
Yeah.
then you would have taken my arm or let's say you throw it on this arm.
Yeah.
Bam, and then I come in and do this. If it's after that second, I need to be the person. I need to understand this is going to take some time and learning. Is I wasn't on time. I was a little late for my shot. It took too long. He had already hit me before. So if you hit him and you're like, oh wait, my shot was late, let them know, because they didn't lose the arm.
Yeah.
They still have it. They can fight at full. You would just, if that was to happen to you, so you got someone, or I got your arm before you got mine, you would want to say, oh, I'm late, don't take that. So
So the rule that we have it in the rule book is it's called in motion.
Okay.
If a shot is already in motion, like say we both throw a chop at the same time,
Okay.
yours hits me right here as mine's coming down.
Okay.
My shot was still in motion. It's on time. Where that sort of gets a little muddy is when it comes to things like wrap shots, which is instead of a chop, it's a shot that your arm sort of hinges around. It's good for getting around like guards and stuff. So if we're fighting and you chop my arm and I'm throwing a wrap, so you chop my arm, and if I'm still coming down and I haven't turned over yet,
Okay.
I'm late because I had to change the angle of the shot.
Okay.
But if you're throwing it and you hit my arm and I've already turned over, then it's on time. So it is like he said, it's one of those things that takes some time to sort of get mentally prepared for, because we function in fractions of a second. Like we're talking half, quarter of a second. You know, these are a lot of things that take the human mind a lot of time to comprehend, and it really comes with experience. Like unless you've done sports that require that kind of timing, like boxing and stuff like that, fencing, soccer, baseball, all that stuff. Those reaction times take some time to build up. So don't feel bad if you don't get it immediately. It will take time. You just need to try and be cognizant of it, because that's the only way you're going to learn. Okay, good question.
Thank you. Next, we're going to talk about the torso. So like I said earlier, it's a point system. Arms and legs are both 1 point. Big points right here. Your torso is 2 points. That's instant loss. So where the tape ends right here, that is where my torso begins. It's right there in the armpit, like I said. So this whole part of my body is my torso. I'm going to show a little something here, but right here, this is where my torso ends, right at the start of this tape. So my hips are part of my torso, so if I get hit in the hips, that is part of your body. It goes down along the leg towards the groin area, and then also it comes around and goes under your buttock to be all torso. So any shots that would land on the back, anything in the front, the buttocks, or the groin are all legal shots. Groin shots obviously frowned upon. Try not to just junk stab anybody, but it does happen. Again, like sometimes you're gonna get hit in the head, sometimes you're gonna get hit in the junk. I've been hit hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yep.
I've got at least couple hundred hours of fighting under my belt in Amtgard, so it just happens.
Yeah.
Actually, my very worst one was someone's boyfriend stabbed me with a pole arm in the junk, and then when I lifted my head, I got shot by an arrow in the face by the person's girlfriend. So they were both very sorry, and then I took a moment. But back to the lesson here. That's all torso. So you have a muscle right here on your neck that connects your shoulder to your neck. Right where that muscle ends, right about here, just above your collarbone, that's neck. That's where it's no-go. If I hit someone in the neck and then bring it down to their shoulder, that's still not a valid shot. If I come down on the head or hit the neck, not a valid. You can call, hey, you hit me in the head, you hit me in the neck, give me a second. If you want to keep fighting, you can. I mean, me and some of the guys, when we're in the heat of battle, I'm like, he just barely touched my head. I mean, but it was a headshot, so I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna keep going. Just gonna keep fighting.
Yeah.
But if you are hurt or anything, please let us know. Make it known so that way we can stop. We don't want to hurt anyone out here. We're just having fun like you guys are. Or everyone wants to have fun out here.
The onus of that call really is on the person who received the shot.
Yeah.
So if we're fighting, I blast it in the face, I should kind of take a step back and then wait to see how he's doing. If he's like holding his face and he's stopped, I'm not going to keep swinging on him. As funny as it would be. No, I'm going to say, you okay? You okay? You need a second? You know, if he needs a second, he takes a second. If he's not, he's back up and we're still fighting. Because like you said, they can vary in severity. So, you know, just if you deliver a shot to the head, be aware, be courteous.
Yeah. Do we have any questions about the torso area? Is there anything we want to know? Anything else? Okay. Shoulders. So I'm gonna go ahead and come over here again. Right where the edge of this tape is, right here. That's where my arm. That's where my shoulder starts. Is this side. So there's a little chunk right here that is still my arm because it's my armpit. So like if you put your hand right here, it's going to intersect and go right with this line. So anything where your armpit is up would be your shoulder.
You feel where that muscle kind of shifts if you kind of like chicken wing?
Sure. Yeah.
It's right there. That's where your armpit is.
So I think your trapezius comes down and then here, your shoulders quite small though in terms of what you can actually do.
Yeah, shoulders no more than maybe 4 or 5 inches wide. You know, even on a mountain like Drats, you know, your shoulder still isn't an impressively large area. Yeah. So I mean, that's another side to having a very narrow frame. You know,
part of that muscle for him would totally be a little bit of shoulder, just because he's it's so big. Yeah. It's part of that muscle will be shoulder for him.
So I like to gauge it off.
It is very different for everyone's got a special body type, you know, so it's going to be different for everyone. Just a little bit. We have basically the same anatomy at the end of the day.
That's one of y'all are aliens.
Okay, so next we're going to move on to legs. I'm going to show off my legs again. As you can see where this line ends up here, that's where my leg begins, this top line. All the way down to my little white lines down here. Any shot that goes down here is considered foot on ground. It is not a legal shot. So anything past your ankle basically is not a legal shot spot. But anything else is. So if Hal hits me in the leg, you have 2 options. You can post, where you keep the leg there. It is still a valid hit location, so they could hit me in the leg again. All you can do on this foot is pivot. You're not allowed to move it. You can just pivot on your foot. That's it. After that, if you end up winning that fight, it's cool. There is another thing you can do called hobbling. So like, you'd be like, instead of having to go to your knees, if you have bad knees or something, you can go hobbling, and you slowly walk towards where the next fight is.
This is more for battle games. For generalized fighting, if you're just like bear pitting, you can't just go hobbling and move to engage them.
Yeah.
You have to either post or take a knee.
Yeah. So that, taking a knee. So Hal hits my leg, and I go down, and he goes ahead and he tries to hit that same leg again. That does not count as a legal spot. It's just a nub, a bloody nub. You could beat my bloody nub up all you want. Doesn't matter to me. But obviously, if he hits the other leg, that's going to be dead. But one thing about this is, this knee is only not a legal hit location as long as it's on the ground. If I lift my foot this way, you're gonna lose your leg. You're basically saying I'm moving and I can use this leg again, and so it becomes a valid location.
Another small rules caveat, going back to the whole foot on ground thing, if you lift your foot up in the air, it becomes a valid target. It's only not valid while it is on the ground. But the second, even if you're like knee walking, the second it comes up.
Yeah. I did wrestling in high school, and one of the things they make you do in wrestling is knee running. So I'll come at people like that all the time. It is kind of intimidating, I won't lie. But if you see me doing that, man, smack that knee. Smack that sucker. Get me dead before I can even get to you.
God, you remember Gator doing that? Dude was crazy fast. He could run on his knees as fast as I could on my feet. Wild. Great, I'm not super fast.
So do we have any other questions about legs? Anything?
Are you better off always, if you got a hit on one of your legs, are you better off being on both knees, or what's
In my personal opinion, I would say yes. You're given about 2 seconds to get to your knees so you don't like just drop super hard and mess yourself up. So if I'm going down and he double taps my leg, I'm still fine because I have a legal like 2 seconds to get to my knees.
Yeah, because you have to declare whether you're going down or posting specifically because of that reason. Because if I hit him in the leg and he keeps swinging and he hasn't gone down, and I swing again, he can't just then drop to his knee.
Yeah.
He was posting. He was
Usually if I get hit in the leg, I'll say leg and then go down.
Yeah.
And if my knees aren't feeling it that day, which at this point they're starting to not, I would just, that first time he hits me, I'd be like, posting.
Yeah, clear communication, super important. I'm kind of of a different mind. I like posting. You know, there is a tactical advantage to it. Because if we're sitting here trading and, you know, I hit him here and he's like tilted forward, and if I go down, I can't really get it, you know, I can't fight up.
Single sword for sure I would rather actually post. That way I wouldn't give him a higher angle on me, even if it means I have to make sure be more conscious about blocking my legs. Do you have a question?
So when posting, right, say this leg was taken, is that valid?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
If my left leg's taken, all of this is fine.
I just wanted to make sure so
you can lunge as far as you can. If you played basketball, you've probably pivoted like that. You know? Like,
this is totally fine movement. If my left leg is taken, I can do this. I can do here.
It's a great thing to do. You can really hide a whole lot of range behind that, because I mean this doesn't look, but I can hit you from there.
Yeah, give you a whole nother foot or two.
Yeah, it's deceptive. It really is. That's why I think it really depends whether you post or not. You know, based on the situation.
Can we borrow your shield real quick? This is another one that I had thought of a couple days before the class that I wanted to go over. Go ahead and throw this on real quick. This is my pole arm. The cool thing about my pole arm is it's red, or well, it's crushing because it's big and stuff. So my big pole arm can break shields, and it takes 3 strikes to fully break a shield. So 1, 2, 3, and it's broken. If he doesn't move his shield or keeps it there, I can come down again. That counts as dead, because that shield wasn't supposed to be there. He should have gotten rid of it or moved it out of the way.
Because like right where he was striking, if we move that, it's there.
Yeah, I would have hit the body then. So that's another one that can come up where it's just like, if someone's coming at you and they're going crushing with their pole arm or their weapon, that means they're going to start breaking your shield. You're going to want to get that shield out of the way so that it doesn't get broken. And if it does get broken, if it hits it 3 times, you got to toss that sucker. Get rid of it. It's more of an issue at that point. This instance will come up more in like battle gaming, so you might have someone on your team that has men to fix your shield.
Crushing due to armor?
So crushing does, what is it, 2 or 3?
It confuses you. So if you have more than 3 points of armor, it takes 1 point away. Once you hit 3 points of armor, it takes all the rest of it away. Kind of, yeah.
So how many points is your armor? 3? You have no armor on now.
Okay.
And then you're legal to hit.
Okay. Thank you.
Normal weapons not damage shields?
No, so this is crushing because my weapon, the head of this is a certain size. I don't know the exact size. Yeah. And so it becomes crushing. Because shield and armor crushing. So
Yeah, it's a special effect. You can get it other ways.
a druid can give it to you. Other people can give you the power. It's fun. It's a lot of fun and using value. Any other questions? No? So we're going to talk about a couple drills to help you with like the awareness of like shot taking and stuff, and then we're going to call it for the day.
Yeah. So the first drill is super simple. It's something that can be done with one other person. So you do a little bit. Ooh, cool. My partner is helping me with this drill. We are going to practice some shot association. Can you do me a favor? Drop your weapons, hold your arms out towards your eyes. And now the thing that they're going to do is they're just going to tell me where the first shot lands.
Right arm.
Dylan and pussy.
That actually is torso for me. Torso. That's leg. That's torso.
There you go. All right. Now tell me where the second shot lands.
Oh, second shot. Torso. Torso. Arm. Torso. Leg. That was body. Arm.
There you go. All right. Now tell me where the third shot lands.
Arm. 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 Leg.
There you go. And so this is the drill that's pretty easy to run. And the way you want to do it is just do it until they get it wrong. And then you swap. And then you would throw shots at me, I would gauge. And you can just do this back and forth. You can, do it with two weapons if you want to go really fast to kind of up that shot association. But it's a very low stress kind of thing. It forces you to not be looking at what you're doing and just go off feeling. It's a really low intensity drill that I think does a really good job of helping you just figure out where you're actually being hit. And then you, as the person throwing the shots, need to know where you're hitting on them so you can say, no, that was wrong, or yes, that was right, But yeah, simple drill.
Mine's a little bit more intense. It is the most basic drill in the game, though. It's what everybody, if you want to really start fighting strong and fighting good, it's the bare basics of all of that. And it's called block strike. I don't know if anybody of you guys have heard of block strike, but block strike's pretty simple. I'm gonna throw a shot on him and he's gonna yell where I hit him with it. So hip, and then arm, and then
Sword.
Arm, sword. So each one, I throw a shot, he tells me where it hit. He throws a shot, I tell him where it hit. And you can block it. That would be where you would say hand on weapon, sword. If I'm hitting arm, obviously that. But the crazy thing is, and we'll show it to you real quick, just a quick easy, or not even easy, quick one. We're gonna do an intense version of this. I'll start off.
Sword. Body. Sword. I hate this drill, by the way.
Yeah, it's a
I hate it.
You're only gonna be able to do that with each arm for about 2 minutes before your arm is like, woo-wee. It's a workout, but it's a really great drill to help you learn to throw shots and learn to return to your guard, and also just to figure out, like, where am I hitting people when I throw my shots? Am I actually landing stuff? Like, he totally blocked that out.
Nope. Arm.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
So, but that time not. So it'll have you guys working out a little bit, and it'll also have you learning a lot as well along the way. And like, I don't know if you caught it, the first one I even threw was a fake. So I threw up high so I can aim low. And you can do that during block strike. Just don't try to take forever with them. But.
Yeah, the thing about block strike is you throw, block, throw, block. You don't move, you're not using footwork or anything like that. Yeah. You do it stationary.
You can put footwork into it.
Yeah. but we call that fighting.
That's next level. Yeah. Yeah, do we have any questions about that?
Sorry, one last thing I wanted to touch on, because it happened in kind of that last exchange. When you are fighting, if a weapon hits a piece of your equipment, but blows through and hits a limb and still makes a valid shot, it's still a valid shot. So not a valid shot right here, but
Valid.
if I'm hitting his hand and blowing through into his arm, that's a valid shot.
Yeah.
Even though he blocked it, I've still come around to hit it. It's the same with 2 legs. If we're fighting, I just go across both his legs.
Yeah, they got both.
He's dead. So 1 strike can produce 2 wounds. It happens rarely, but it does happen. I'm pretty sure I heard it happen in the battle game. So that's just something I wanted to bring up, because I know a lot of other lightest touch systems or other games they do it where it's the first strike is the termination. So it doesn't matter if you block with the hand and then it comes around and hits the arm. You know, it terminated on the hand. Not for Amtgard.
Yeah.
For Amtgard, if anything, it creates a sufficient force shot on is valid.
Do you have any questions? Any last questions?
I have a simple but hopefully a question that makes sense. But like, how hard do you swing? I mean, that's a.
Well, these are designed to be safe. You know what I mean? Like, I can hit myself pretty hard with this, and it's not going to actually bruise me or hurt me, right?
Yeah, it might sting.
Like, don't be afraid to throw a little. Like, obviously, I'm not going to like try to hurt him, but if I want to throw a good shot, I can throw a little body into it. That's not too hard, right? But,
yeah, you know, it's one of those things. We're not trying to hurt people. At the bare minimum, you want that.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine. That's fine. I can't really hard I can. I don't want to. You shouldn't want to. But like, as long as it makes that audible pop.
Do you notice how open he gets when he winds up for that big shot?
Yeah.
Even sometimes having a strength behind your shot will help. Because like, see how my shoulder's just barely peaking? And then if he throws it down good, he moved my shield, he got my back with that shot. So you can add a little bit of pepper, especially if there's a shield or something blocking in the way. Go ahead and add a little pepper, it's fine. But we're not trying to hurt anyone. Don't baseball swing as hard as you can. You know, be courteous, show a little restraint. I definitely don't hit new people as hard as I even fight on a regular day. But after people start getting used to it, you know, and yeah, these weapons are designed so they don't hurt each other, you know what I mean? That's why they're so big. You're not going to get jammed and lose an eye or anything.
Even someone like 52. 52 is a very close friend of mine. You know, we go reasonably hard on each other.
Oh,
but like, I'm still not trying to break him. I'm not going to put my entire hit behind his stab and, you know, just take his soul. Like, you know, you're going to throw just hard enough to like get your point across.
And I'll be honest, I've even had times where like, I've been hit in the head a couple times and I got real upset about it. I started swinging some heaters and I had a friend tell me, hey, you need to calm down. Sometimes you need to take a break. If you're angry and fighting, it's not a good combo.
Yeah.
You're gonna start swinging hard, you're gonna start hurting feelings, hurting people.
In the safety section of the rule book, it says if you feel yourself starting to get frustrated and upset, that's the point in which you should take a step off the field. The herald the reeve might ask you to do so, the champion might ask you to do so. If it does happen, don't take offense, don't be upset. Everybody needs a break. Sometimes we get way too into this game. It is an adrenaline rush. When you're out there and you're in the thick of it and you're going, like, it can be a very adrenaline-fueled thing. If you start to take it up a little too hard or a little too high, it happens to all of us. I guarantee it happens to it's happened to everyone at least once. You've been playing for a long time. You'll probably be asked by the reeve to tone it down. If you don't, you'll be asked to step off. That is one of the provisions we allow our safety officers in this game. They can take anyone off the field at any time they feel it's being unsafe.
In a battle game, the reeve is king. If the reeve tells you to do anything, in that moment you need to respect the reeve and do what he says. If he says you need to get off the field, or if something happened and tells you, oh, well, you got hit in the arm, you're not there to fight with the reeve about what's happening. You just do what the reeve says. If you want to talk to them about it after the game, that's 100% fine, but leave it for after. On that field, reeve is in charge.
Yeah, there are very few things that you'll get taken off for. There's a provision in the barbarian ability Fight Through Death, is that if you are using it too recklessly, you can no longer be allowed to use it. Because it is one of those very high intensity abilities. You become unable to be wounded for 7 seconds. You just get to swing. If you start swinging too aggressively, you'll have that ability to run.
Who is the reeve? Who is the ref?
Typically the reeve, it differs for every game, but they will either have a like candy cane striped staff, or they will have a checkered sash. You'll see them standing on the side, easily identifiable by one of those two identifiers. If you look over at Thistledown, you'll see he's wearing one underneath his that black and white checker. See that? That is your reeve. They typically stand off to the side of the field, or they stand at like a capture point, depending on the game. But those are your safety officers.
I want to thank everyone for coming out and doing the class, and I'm happy to see new Amtgarders playing the game and having a good time.
Yeah, it's really refreshing. It's great to see you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.